Hey Capricorn, this is Natalie from Inspired Alignment. I am coming to you today to bring your January 2019 reading. Please check your sun, moon, and rising signs so that you can get more of a complete picture of your particular situation. Also, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And also, if the reading resonates with you, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with Capricorns for January 2019. Okay. What are the most important things that Capricorns need to know for the month of January 2019? What do Capricorns need to know during this time period? What are the most important messages for Capricorns? Okay, the first card we have is the Four of Water. Second card is Integrity. And Intuition. And then underneath the deck, we have Healing with Emotions, the Essential, the Ten of Fire, and Thought. I'm going to take all 5 of those. All right, Capricorns. So what I see here for you for January is definitely you are doing some self-reflection during the month of January. There could have been a lot of things during 2018 that were very difficult for you on many different levels, especially I think on an emotional level. There may have been some things that took place that you are kind of reviewing during the month of January. And during this time, you're kind of really like reflecting on your behavior or your reactions to certain circumstances that may have taken place throughout the entire year of 2018. I feel like by you kind of looking at yourself in these situations and reflecting on those things, you are kind of really thinking about integrity. You are thinking about whether or not you were in your integrity during some of the circumstances that took place. And if, now that you have kind of like, now that you're kind of looking back at some of those things that took place, are you now kind of realizing certain things and beginning to now stand in your integrity after kind of reflecting on other things that took place over the last year? I also feel like your intuition is very strong during the month of January. I feel like if there is somebody that I feel like this is a partner of some kind, either like a friend, a partner, like a husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. This could be a business partner, somebody that you have some kind of a partnership with or a connection with. You are feeling, your intuition is telling you something about this partnership, and you're questioning whether or not this other person that you're involved with is staying in their integrity, and if they are wearing like a false mask when it comes to the relationship that you have with them. And if this isn't you who is questioning this and feeling, or picking up on this like intuition that something may not be what it appears to be, this could definitely be the person that you're involved with feeling this way about you. So I see here also that, there are definitely, with this reflection that's taking place, maybe like some things that you're finding out, that there are some deep emotions that are coming to the surface, and some healing that is going to be taking place. I also feel like whatever this situation is, and it could be a whole year long situation, or that has been going on. It can be any duration of time, but I do feel like for some of you guys it was like a longer period of time. And you felt very controlled by whatever the circumstance was. You kind of felt like, you couldn't move really in any direction, that you were just kind of like stuck where you were. And I feel like something here is being released. Whether it's you finding out about something, somebody else finding out about something, or just like the release of true feeling and true emotion about a circumstance after doing some like self-reflection. There's like this just like release, and it's like that control that has been over you is like lifted. And once this control is kind of taken off of you, you really start to just to accelerate in some way. For some of you guys, I feel like this could be anger. This could be somebody being very angry. This also could be a person that is trying to control a situation, that is like losing that control, could be becoming very angry. And then for others of you guys, I feel like this isn't even anger at all. I feel like for some of you guys, like once this controlling aspect is lifted from you, it's like you accelerate in a different type of a way. It's like you start to just transform and change. Like your perception of things starts to change. The direction that your life is going and the way that you look at things really starts to change. And you start to transform kind of at a rapid pace, because it's almost like you had like some like bricks on top of you for a really long time. And it's like you kind of had like this like want or this desire to kind of move, but you couldn't move, and it just was building up and building up and building up. And now that these bricks are kind of being taken off of you, it's like now you just, all of that built up power or energy just gets released. And I do feel like, this whole entire situation changes the way that you think about things and changes the way that you perceive things within your life. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifiers on this to see what else Capricorns need to know about January 2019. What else do Capricorns need to know about this energy for January 2019? What else do Cappies need to know about this? All right, so let's see what this Four of Water is about for Capricorns. What's the Four of Water about? Okay, we have the Page of Swords, which again is like this aspect of truth. But I feel like this is two different messages. This is either you reflecting on things that have happened and really kind of seeing the truth of you, really kind of looking in the mirror and seeing like who you truly are. And for others of you, I feel like you are kind of looking at somebody else within your life and seeing the truth of who they are. And this person may not be exactly who you originally thought that they were. So let's look and see what integrity is for Capricorns. What do we need to know about integrity? Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like this could be something to do with work, a work partnership. Like, you know, there may be somebody that you work with or like a partner, and, you know, that might be who this situation is about. Maybe their integrity is kind of in question. I also feel like for some of you guys, you have, you know, maybe built up your stability and built up your pentacles, and you may be kind of like being a provider at this point in time. And this is kind of asking you to still stay in your integrity. Like, you know, you may have built up these things materially, but don't start to like become arrogant or think that like you have control over certain situations, or like start holding like material or money things like over people's heads. And if this isn't you that could be doing this, it could be like a person that you're dealing with that that is doing that. And I get this feeling like if somebody is doing something like that, people are just kind of like looking at this person and like rolling their eyes, you know, like kind of like, you know, get over yourself a little bit is what like I'm hearing. You know, because honestly, when you think about it, we all die the same way, and we don't really get to take all of this money and material things with us. And so, you know, just try to, you know, stay in your integrity and, you know, keep that, that genuine part of yourself alive. Don't let, you know, material and money things get to your head. You know, and underneath the deck here we have the Fool. So don't be foolish with money either. You know, stay in your integrity. So let's see what this intuition is about for Capricorns. What do the Capricorns need to know about this intuition card? What is the intuition card about? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, I have the Chariot that flew out, but I'm going to pull another card here just in case, because that could have just been an accident. We'll see. Do Capricorns need to know about intuition? Okay, nope, it wasn't an accident. Okay, so here we have the Chariot, which to me is movement. It's movement in a certain direction. And then the card that also came out was the Six of Swords, which is also movement. You know, in the Six of Swords, it's more of like a, you know, a push or a nudge from the universe or spirit, you know, like is kind of guiding or pushing you in a certain direction, which goes well with intuition itself. Your intuition may be telling you to leave a certain situation, or maybe that somebody else is getting ready to leave a situation. But it's like you have this inner knowing. And underneath the deck here, we have the Queen of Cups, who is the most intuitive queen within this entire deck, within the tarot. So this just could be you, like really highly in your intuition, like you just have this inner knowing about something. Some of you guys may be dealing with the Queen of Cups, so a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces female. I do also have Cancer here with the Chariot. So that could be significant for some of you guys. Maybe, you know, if you are dealing with a Queen of Cups, there's something going on with your intuition and whatever the circumstance is here. So let's get a card for these 5 cards that came out for underneath the deck. What does Capricorn need to know about this group of cards here? One message for the group of cards here for Capricorn. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles. And it's kind of exactly what I was saying. You know, this is being stuck in a situation and feeling like you can't move. Feeling like you have to hold on tightly to everything that you have. And you're holding on so tightly to this because you can't lose any of it, that like you're unable to move. And then underneath the deck we have the World card, which is, this is basically the end to this cycle. This is the end to you feeling controlled and confined in a certain situation or a certain circumstance. So this could be like a job, a home, a relationship. It can be like so many different things for different people, but this is coming to a close. Whatever you have been feeling bound to or stuck in is going to wrap itself up here. So I'm going to get another card here to see what else Capricorns need to know for January 2019. What else do Capricorns need to know for January 2019? What other messages do we have for Capricorns for January 2019? What else do Cappies need to know about this energy and about this time period? Okay, here we have the Nine of Gabriel. This card says, stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility. Environmental activism. So this is interesting. You could be doing something outdoors. There could be something going on with the earth or the environment that you're involved in. But this is kind of exactly what I was talking about. Stay determined and move forward. There's going to be forward movement here for sure. And be prepared for any possibility, because I feel like once this control is lifted off of you, like things are just gonna like start to really like move forward quick for you. And then underneath the deck we have solutions. This card says, success that comes from objective compromise, self-control and patience, forgiving and healing energy. Which is interesting because I did talk about there being maybe some kind of controlling issues going on, especially if it's involving money or resources. And I also did talk about, you know, this like emotional healing that's happening as well. So all of this that's taking place, the emotional healing, the integrity and the controlling issues that are kind of coming, you know, away from you. All of those things that are taking place here in January are the actual solutions to the difficulties that you've been dealing with over the last year. So I think that that is an awesome, great message for Capricorns. So I'm going to go ahead and pull an oracle card for you guys. What else do Capricorns need to know for January 2019? What else do Capricorns need to know for January 2019? Okay, we have polarity. So this card says, integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the law of polarity. And I do see this here with kind of like this self-reflection that you're doing, this kind of like review that you're having over things that have taken place, you know, maybe over the last year, and really kind of recognizing maybe times when, you know, maybe you weren't in your integrity. Maybe, you know, you were acting angry or overly emotional or controlling in a situation. But the important thing is like now you're kind of looking at yourself and you're recognizing that, and that's part of integrating that darker side into the lighter side of yourself, because there can be no light without the dark. We have to recognize the darkness before we can become the light. And you know, the fact that in the month of January it's very apparent that, you know, this is actually taking place and happening. I just think that like all this difficulty that Capricorns have been having is going to start to kind of like shift and move now. And then underneath the deck, we have trust. Leap into the unknown, have faith, and move forward. Believe you will fly. So again, we have like this message of moving forward. And trusting in what's happening. Trusting, you know, some of this stuff might be a little bit difficult, you know, emotions coming up and healing. And, you know, some of it, you know, isn't, you know, all that easy, but just trust in what's happening, because I really see this moving into a really good place for you, Capricorn. So I'm going to pull a card from the Sacred Geometry deck. Can I have one more message for Capricorns for the month of January 2019? One more message for Capricorns for January 2019. What else do Capricorns need to know? Message for Capricorns. Okay, here we have number 14, Together. I'm going to actually read this from the book. Okay, this card says, standing together in an electrified field formed by the flower of life, golden spirals, and specifically inside a star tetrahedron, this couple joins in balance and deliberate co-creation. At this drawing of a new era, we have the opportunity, perhaps for the first time in a millennia, to shift the obsolete paradigm of power over to an emerging vision of power to. It is certain that the old model is no longer workable. The ways of conventional power and greed have brought us to the brink of ruin. However, by mutual intent to co-create and bring balance, we will find common ground from which to create an optimistic future. Envision yourself standing in this symbol of co-creation and dynamic balance. First, seek your own inner point of equilibrium. Living in balance with a male and female aspect within will make it easier to achieve balance when relating to others. Second, observe the way that your intimate relationships are functioning. Are you living in cooperation and respect with the ones that you love? Is there a dynamic of give and take to your interactions? Third, consider how you are co-creating with colleagues and co-workers. It ought to be more than simply getting the job done. Finally, look at the way you view the world as a whole and your place therein. Let this card help activate your full participation in shifting paradigms towards unity, oneness, and peace. Wow, Capricorn, that is like super powerful and totally resonates with this reading. Gosh, I really feel like you guys are really like transforming here, but there's a little bit of like inner work that you're doing. But I think that that's great. I think that this is like really awesome. So let's get one card for the future energy for Capricorns. Where's this all headed for February 2019? Let's get one card. All right. Oh, wow. So here we have the Six of Wands, which is the victory card. So, you know, after kind of going through all of these different transformations through the month of January, you find yourself victorious in February. And you even have like a little female here that's coming to congratulate you. So that's really cool. And what's interesting is underneath the deck, I have the Nine of Swords, but this Nine of Swords is in the reverse. So all of the things that have been worrying you, stressing you out, creating anxiety, keeping you up at night, those things are ending. In February, those things are coming to a close. You're not going to be dealing with them anymore, and you're going to be totally victorious. So Capricorn, I think that's one of the best readings I've done so far, and I think it's well deserved because Cappies have had it pretty rough over the last few months. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I will see you soon. Take care.